A blessed love to all Jamaicans once again. I want to wish you all the best wherever you are. And we look forward to a new term of the Jamaica Labour Party. In our recently concluded elections, they were victorious on the polls. So I want to use this opportunity once again to say, I look forward to Jamaicans home and abroad on both sides of the political divide making every effort to come together for Jamaica. And as I've said, and I've always said it, not because the PNP is still in opposition, should they think they cannot become part or form bipartisan relationship with the government to get things done. And that doesn't mean you is actually negating your chance at becoming the next government, forming the next government of the day. You understand? I do believe it puts you in a better light to become the next government of the day. And that won't stop all the corruption you people are talking about. That won't stop all the disrespect you people are talking about. But I'm doing this video again as a follow-up to the one that I did yesterday. That one will be released tomorrow. And this is part 2 to that video because I'm still asking the question, is this election over? Because I get the impression that it's not over. And especially amongst the losers, the People's National Party, for them the election is not over. But I do believe the time has come for us to move on. The Electoral Office of the Electoral Commission, they found no office. The OJ found no malpractice, no malfeasance, no nothing to suggest that the election outcome is questionable or there should be any doubt about the election result. And as I said before in an article with a good friend of mine, that person is definitely outright PNP supporter. And he raised a lot of questions on all of these things. You understand? And all they're saying is the JLP didn't win the election, Andrew Holness is a thief, Andrew Holness is this, and Andrew Holness is that, and the JLP party needs to be this and needs to be that. When I asked him where the evidence to support what you're saying, he has no evidence. And this is the kind of stupidity that's coming out of the PNP camp. Because not until I point out to him that proving to find the evidence, whether you have data or not, you're going to have hardcore physical people evidence to suggest that there was malpractice in the election. And that has to come forthwith. And if you don't have that evidence contesting the election successfully, those kind of evidence to contest the election successfully, it's going to take you 5, 6, 8 years. So by the time you get through and go through all the courts and put your evidence together, another election is called. It's difficult to prove that. Difficult. Even an election happens like what it happens in Russia. It's difficult to prove that Putin cheated at the election. It's difficult. It's not an easy thing to do. And not until I began to break it down for him, my friend, this way, to explain to him that these are not something you can talk all you want to talk. It doesn't change the outcome of the results. What we need to do as a people, as I said, I really have no dog in this fight. I know no and a PNP, not JLP. I have reason to hate both of them, and I'm not carrying a feelings for either one. But what I realize is that people with this die-hearted support for political party, whichever one they're leaning to, the very same thing that they're advocating against is the very same thing they're feeding into. The very same thing they're talking about is the very same thing they're cursing the other party for and quarreling with the other party, accusing the other party of. It's the very same thing their comment is feeding into and creating. I can't tell people what to think or how to think. But what I know for sure is that the country needs to be educated politically, because we are not. And I'm not sorry to say this, we are not politically educated. And Jamaica needs to get to the point where we are far more educated, politically educated than we are today. And this is why I say, I've said all the time that it's important for us to know our politics. We should come together to create a better understanding for each other instead of cursing out PMP and cursing out JLP. We can curse all we want to curse. We have self-government now, or self-governance, for the past 62 years, and from the day that was created, each party has been cursing out the other. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. And I don't understand how Jamaican heads are, skull are so thick when it comes to politics. You cannot get through to people for them to understand that no matter how you curse the next party, or whatever you want to say about the other party, or each party saying about each other, supporters saying about their support, nothing is going to change. Because the politicians themselves realize that the people, we are not driven to see the kind of changes and to help create the kind of changes so we can have a voice in our governance, so we can actually advocate for some of the changes we need in our community. We are not that kind of people as far as our politics is concerned. And I want to say something about, I listened to a blogger there on YouTube saying something that Prime Minister Holness this something or this somebody in his inauguration speech, and he has said or done nothing to unite the country. But I'd like the blogger to explain to all of us. Let us go back to 1962 when our self-governance started. Which party has made a concrete effort throughout their policies and plans to unite the country? You tell me. And give me the source of your information. Which party has ever attempted to unite Jamaica together? I don't know, you can be so blinded not to realize that these political parties are better off when the country is divided, not united. And no Mark Golden, no Andrew Holness by themselves, no JLP by itself, no PMP by itself unite the country. It cannot be done unless both parties are absolutely on the same page and ready to do so. And that's the nonsense that is going on about the politics and all about this third term issue, because I wonder if people realize that the election is over. And if you're so upset that your party lost, take your loss, man, and move on and try to help build the party, because I'm saying to Mark Gold and the PMP, we need you as the opposition. You're in the opposition, but we still need you, because we need the PMP to be vital, to be vibrant in opposition. We need that. You represent the checks and balances against the present government. And we definitely need that. Having said that, I want to jump over to, because I take a look at the cabinet of the newly formed JLP government, and one of the things that jumps out at me clearly is this newly formed cabinet, ladies and gentlemen, and much more to the PMP also. Don't take it for joke. The Prime Minister said in his speech, he's working for the fourth term. For the fourth term. Look at the cabinet he puts in place. He's serious about the fourth term. And he's not going to sit back and relax and hope the fourth term is going to happen by a magical stroke of whatever action they may do or whatever they don't do. It's not going to go down that way. He's prepared to work for it. And I must commend the Prime Minister and the cabinet he has created and has in place. One very good thing about the cabinet, Mr. Prime Minister, is that I noticed that the man from out in Old Harbour, Everett Warmington, is not a member of that cabinet. And Warmington, I hope you take notice, brother. You can take your licks and go relax. It's time for you to sit down and relax because the JLP is sounding the alarm. They're serious about the fourth term and they're not taking any chance with you. Very important, very critical for them to do what they're doing. It's important. They are not prepared to take a gamble on you. They're not prepared to take any chance with you. Ever. As they say, you're a firebrand politician. But you're also more disruptive and disrespectful than being a firebrand. And for the life of me, I don't understand how people will ever keep voting for you. Because here's the thing about you, Warmington. I remember when you first took over Old Harbor. You may not know, but listen to this. I was born and grew up in Old Harbor. I know Old Harbor when it was beautiful, sir. I knew Old Harbor when it was beautiful and a place to be any night of the week. 24/7 was a great place to be. I knew when you first took over that place, that constituency. And I also know that up to today you have not done anything. Nothing has been done to make that constituency a better place than what it was. It keeps going down, deteriorating year after year. Under your stewardship, Warmington, nothing has been done about the constituency. And I'm saying this loud and clear. You should be damn ashamed of yourself in terms of that. You should be ashamed of yourself. Old Harbor is the same Old Harbor it is. There's no changes, sir. And it baffles me how the people continue to vote for you, and I hear people shouting on top of their voice how Warmington is the best person for Old Harbor. I remember in 2024 when Kurt Wall won that division in the parish council election, and you comment that no PMP shall spend my money. I can tell you, if I was a member of the Jamaica Labour Party at the time, and if the Prime Minister didn't get rid of you then, I can tell you, Wilmington, I would have resigned. I myself would have resigned from the party because of your comment. But I'm glad, come 2024, the leader, Andrew Wallace, has sent a message out there that he's serious about the fourth term. And by not including you, they're not taking any chance with you, Warmington. And I quite agree with that strategic move. You understand? That's a visionary move. Signals to me that this man is not working at the back end of the problem anymore. He's not prepared to solve your problems, Warmington. He's prepared himself now to prevent any problems you can create. So whatever problems you can now create, sir, you're not a part of the cabinet. You're not a part of it no more. You can stay out on the wings and create your problems. And that's fine. No one can stop you. Because you said you don't pay license for your mouth. No one can stop you from saying what you want to say. So to the people of Old Harbor, it is time you begin to seek. And if you have a selection committee out there for that comes together to select and put forward representative for the year, I can tell you, start that process right now. Start that process right now. Do not put it in place or try to do it 2 years out from the next election. Do it now. Send a clear signal to Warmington that he will not be around for the next election. He will not be around. Very strategic on the part of his leader, Andrew Holness, to avoid getting you involved in the cabinet any longer, Warmington. You definitely don't need to be there, and I lauded the Prime Minister on that. As I said, I'm wondering clearly and loudly and deeply if the election is over, because while the JLP is putting some stuff together to start their work, The PMP is flogging themselves. They're complaining. There are all sort of things going on in their camp. And I think this is one of the things that affected them during the last election cycle. And they continue to do the very same thing in this new election cycle. Getting ready on an election is a couple of months away. That just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. If you need to be ready, Mark Golding and the PMP, you guys got to put your act together immediately. You ain't got no honeymoon for this. There's no honeymoon period here for you guys to get your act together. The country needs you, brother. Whether or not you you're in a position, or you think you're in a position, or you think, whatever you want to think of yourself and your party, the country needs you. And needs the party. So please, PMP, please get your act together. It's important. As I said, I have no dog in the fight. I have no horse in the race. It doesn't matter to me who wins or who loses. What matters is that what is done must be done to the benefit of all Jamaica. And the stupidity of people to think that only PMP alone can run the country, or only JLP alone can run the country and make Jamaica successful. I can tell all youth guys who think like that, doesn't matter who you are. What you're thinking and what you're suggesting is just an illusion to be pursued, but will never be able to attain by the JLP itself or by the PMP itself. I'll go back to what I'm always preaching and what I'm always saying. There's no way the JLP alone can unite this country. There's no way the PMP alone can unite this country. This unification of the country of Jamaica has to be a bipartisan effort. And any attempt to become transparent by government has to be a bipartisan effort. Any attempt to reduce corruption or the impression of corruption has to be a bipartisan effort. It cannot be on the JP alone or the PMP alone, whether you're in government or in opposition. It has to be a bipartisan effort. Politics doesn't run itself. Politics doesn't operate itself. People. It is people, the lawmakers, who dictates what happens politically. And if one side is allowed to dictate everything, then there will always be cry of corruption. There will always be the absence of transparency, honesty, and respect for the very people they're claiming to serve. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say once again, welcome to the Len Robin YouTube channel. And to all those PNP people out there who are still flagging Andrew Holness and the JLP and all these things, making all kind of noise and idiotic suggestion and explanation for what is what, and the Andrew Holness shouldn't be in Jamaica, the JLP shouldn't be in power, they thief the election and they buy vote and they do this and they do that. What are you people? Where are you people coming from? Haven't you realized where were you all this time? Don't you realize this is something both political parties does in Jamaica? I'm wondering where the hell were you all along, or all of you people all along. This is something that has been going on even before a lot of you people were born. So when you don't know something, don't just jump and accuse one person of something. You yourself don't want to be accused of it. So too to the political parties. If you don't have the information to suggest, don't guess it. It's just as simple as that. You don't have the information to prove what your point, just don't guess it and lay accusation at the feet of any one of these political parties, neither JLP nor the PMP. And that's my position about political parties and politics in Jamaica. If it's going to be cleaned up, it's only we the people can clean up our politics. That starts with us, it doesn't start with the political parties, it doesn't start, when I say political party, it doesn't start with JLP, it doesn't start with PMP, it doesn't start with UIC, it doesn't start with the other independent party that contested the election too. None of them. Because we are 4 political parties in Jamaica, right? Registered in Jamaica. Cleaning up Jamaica doesn't start with them or rest with them alone. It's gonna be a bipartisan effort between both. We have to come together, and the people, we too have to come together to make sure that what government promises is delivered. What government promises is delivered. And I would ask all PMP supporters, help the PMP, help Mark Golden, help your newly formed shadow government to become vibrant and a viable party, just in case the JLP failed. Because nothing in politics is ever cast in stone. Nothing. So it's important for us to not only talk about the other party, the T4 or whatever, but to lift up our own party. By calling the other one corrupt and liars and thieves and all that, doesn't mean you're lifting up your party. It means you're creating a blanket to hide your party's thievery and corruption and lies and all of that. It can also mean that. So don't think you're clearing one and muddling the other. You're not. Absolutely essential, absolutely important for us to realize what we're doing as people, and it's time we start to get to know our politics so we can come together to create a better understanding for each other. Ladies and gentlemen, watch what they do. It is for us to watch what they do and what they say. I'm talking about our politicians. And I'm hoping that my little common sense influence here can help to put the election to rest and to let the PMP side of it know that the election is over. You can talk all you want to talk. It is over. What now needs to be done is to resurrect the PMP, redefine the PMP, restructure the PMP, refocus the PMP, redirect the PMP, rewrite its mission and vision statement, get the PMP to become vibrant and useful, even in opposition. Because they must present themselves to the nation as the viable, as a more viable party than the Jamaica Labour Party. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say welcome again to the Lenny Robbins YouTube channel. Know your politics. Let's come together to create a better understanding. I cannot stop preaching this, and I will never stop preaching it by watching what the politicians do and what they say. Because that's the only way we're going to know what they say or what they do or what they don't do. And as I've always said, a lot of times what they don't do is more detrimental to us. Always, whichever party becomes the government of the day, it is our existence that is on the line, we the people, not the political parties, not the politicians. Because I can tell you right now, tomorrow is Friday, and I'm sure Friday night or Saturday night, if you go somewhere in Stone Hill and some place in Jamaica, Upper St. Andrew, you're going to find PMP and JLP together having a drink. You will find that. I make no jokes about that. I'm not saying that because I'm hearing that. I'm trying to paint a pretty picture. I'm telling you that as a matter of fact. That you can stay there and curse and hate each other all you want, but those politicians are hanging out come weekends, sharing drinks. Ladies and gentlemen, and like I said, the real work is going to start now. So I have no problem asking people. Now I've been doing this for pretty much 2 years, and I'm not really appealing to anyone to support or whatever. But prior to now, but now that the real work is about to start, I'm going to ask us to out there, whoever, just help to grow this platform, because a lot of stuff going to come out that, and a lot of education information is going to come out to you that you don't. Because the aim here is to help people to enlighten people to what politics is and the importance of politics. To bring a different perspective to politics in the minds of people. It's not just to vote or to love the orange color or the green color shirt. It's not just to jump up and say PNP is better than JLP or JLP is better than PNP, yet you have no evidence, no concrete evidence to support what you're saying. But to make common sense of what is happening around you so you have a better picture and a better understanding of how politicians think, what they do, why they say what they say, and what they don't do, some of the things that we want them to do. Ladies and gentlemen, like, share, subscribe, touch up the notification bell, and leave some comments. Leave comments. It's absolutely important that we come together to make a better understanding for all of us, for ourselves, as people of Jamaica. This nation is a great nation, and you don't realize how powerful it is until you step outside of Jamaica. Absolutely an amazing nation. And if we can remain and maintain that, not just through our music and our culture and our sports, you understand? But because of who we are as one people, one Jamaica. There's no one prime minister in Jamaica. So I won't use that term. There's only one at a time, but there's no one prime minister for Jamaica. Carl Jones can't do this by himself forever until he dies. No way. Not possible. Ladies and gentlemen, blessed love to all Jamaicans. And I want to say best wishes to everyone on this Thursday evening. And let us continue to try to understand what the politics is about and recognize most of all that this election is over and we have already started a new election cycle. And the Prime Minister sent a signal out there that he wants a fourth term. And it is from our Golden and the PNP to understand clearly and get their act together, hit the ground running, and do not waste time. Do not, Golden, spread propaganda. Do not allow your party to be spreading propaganda. Come to the fore with facts. Provide your empirical evidence to substantiate whatever presentation, whatever you guys are saying, because you're in a position and you need to prove that you're more viable or you're just as viable and can do a couple of things better than the present government. Ladies and gentlemen, like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Lenny Robbins YouTube, over and out.